Hey everyone watching, I'm powphenom, and today we're back with the off-road go-kart, um, doing more teardown videos and all that. So you saw in the last video, if you watched it, I recommend you do. I ended up pulling out the seats and some other miscellaneous things such as the wiring and just, you know, simple stuff like that, the seat belts. All that's gotten pulled out of the go-kart because we are stripping this thing down to prepare it to be painted because the paint on it's really rough, as you guys saw. Sorry about last video. The audio was like really messed up or something like that. And it was just really low. Not sure why, but it was. So in last video, as I already mentioned, I pulled out the seats, the seat belts, and the wiring. And in other words, I'm just going to be continuing on doing that. So what I'm going to attempt to pull out is a lot of this, a lot of these connections and all that. There's fuel line and stuff and just some other miscellaneous things I got to pull out. And what I'm likely going to end up doing, since this thing is a total tool to push, just because these front tires are destroyed. They're just ripped and torn. And I'm going to likely end up ordering 2 front tires soon anyway. The rear tires are actually good. They hold air just fine. It's just the 2 fronts that are demolished. So what I'm likely going to do is pull the front suspension out, just drop all that down. I'm not actually taking it apart. As you can see, I'm just going to be undoing all the mounting points. So for the upper control arm, there's 2 there, 1 there for the shock, and then there's the bolt for the rack and pinion steering. It's the same on the other side. And then the brake lines, because like I said, there are 2 calipers on this go-kart in the front, and then there's 1 in the rear. So I'm gonna undo those brake lines. I'm not going to like rip them or anything. I'm gonna try not to, just because I want to save them. And the front calipers do look like they might work. I know the rear one is destroyed, but the 2 front ones might have some life in them, so I might be able to get them to work. And if I do, that'd be great. So yeah, without further ado, let's start working. All right, so the left side suspension's out. There it all is there. So normally how most people would do this, you take apart the whole suspension, but I didn't really feel the need to do that because I feel everything is fine. I just took it off for painting purposes because of course I don't want to paint the suspension. I just want to paint the frame. Plus, like I said, it's gonna get stripped down anyway. So yeah, the driver's side suspension's out. Really easy to take out. It's just a bolt on the lower control arm, a bolt on the upper control arm, and then the shock bolt. And that's all that holds the suspension in. And of course the rack and pinion steering bolt. And I'm threading the bolts back in, like for the rack and pinion steering arm. I threaded the nut back in, and I'm doing the same thing with all that. I'm just gonna put it all back on, so that way when it comes time to put it all back together, I'll know where everything goes. There's a moth in here and it just killed itself on that. Never mind that. But yeah, so I'm gonna take a quick break real quick, and I'm gonna continue on to the passenger side, and that'll be it for the suspension teardown. On a quick notice too, there was brake fluid in these lines when I went to take it out. Brake fluid came out, made a mess. I had to put that rag down, but it's all out now. So that tells me that yeah, the brake fluid, it actually looked fine. It didn't look bad. So like I said, these front brakes may have some life in them. It's just my main concern is the master cylinder, because like I said, it is seized up. The pedal doesn't move and the master cylinder doesn't move. So I'm gonna have to try and see if I can get that master cylinder to work. All right, so both suspensions are out. There's the left front and this is the right front. Something different that's pretty unique is that caliper is different Then there's brake fluid everywhere. Oh my God. It's different from the driver's side caliper. I don't know why. That one has more rust on it than that one, which is something odd too. That one didn't have much brake fluid in it, and that one had, as you can see, the most. It's leaking everywhere on the floor. I didn't think it would. But yeah, so I don't know what's to do with that. They are the same caliper, just different color. I looked at the brake pads on both of them. Both of them have like essentially brand new brake pads. So I'm not too sure how much this go-kart was actually ridden in terms of like riding it, or either that, maybe the front brakes didn't work. I hope they do work, because the brake pads were either replaced or they're just like, or they didn't work. Hopefully, I'm thinking it's that they were just replaced and that they don't work. I know the rear caliper is destroyed because it hit the engine block and blew the motor up. So that caliper is killed. We have to get a new rear caliper, but hopefully, like I said, the two front ones work properly. They did have brake fluid in it, and like I said, they don't look bad. I looked inside; they don't look bad or anything like that. It's just the point of getting the master cylinder to function. So that's all the time I have today, or well, I should say tonight. It's dark out now, but that's all the time I have. I got some things to do tomorrow, and I got to pull this thing out. So it's going to be even harder now without a front suspension, but I got a dolly to figure it out, make it easier to move. But yeah, so next time I'm available and I got time, I'll continue tearing apart the go-kart. I'm going to take out the rack and pinion itself, and the steering wheel and all those switches. Those are all going to come out as well. And the two levers inside the cart, I'm sorry, it's not a car. Just all that stuff, just because, like I said, when it comes time to paint this, I don't want like spray paint just getting on everything and just making it look weird. So I do want to kind of do it properly. So yeah, like I said, it is going to get stripped down completely, just down to the bare chassis. I'm probably just going to leave some miscellaneous things on that I don't really care about, like the gas pedal and stuff like that. That's not taking all that out. It's not needed. But otherwise, all the major components that I don't want getting paint on are going to be coming out. And yeah, so anyway, I'll see you guys next time I have the time to work on this. All right, so we're back a couple days later, honestly, about a week later. Go-kart's back there. Just got off work, so going to be spending the rest of my day cranking out this go-kart. So we left off with pulling the front suspension completely out. All that stuff, pulling the brake lines, it's all sitting right there in the corner. So what I want to finish doing is taking off the rack and pinion steering rack, or whatever it's called, pulling the steering wheel, pulling those levers, and then quickly dropping this rear sub section. I want to get this done really, really fast, just because I'm really on a tight time schedule right now. So I just want to be able to crank this all out, so that way it's just all done. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so we've got the rack and pinion steering, the steering wheel, the mounting brackets for it, and the, I guess, pull brakes or whatever they're for. I'm not too sure what they're for. I'll follow the lines back, see what they go to. But all those are out. All that other miscellaneous stuff, it's all out. I take out some other miscellaneous things. So now all that's left in the front is all the little tiny components. And now what I'm gonna begin pulling off now is this rear subsection. I'm gonna unbolt it, and this whole rear subsection should just be able to pull free. And then from there, I'll leave the chassis as is, because when it comes time to paint it, I'll just take off whatever's left, which is the master cylinder, the pedals, the switches, that little bracket there, any little miscellaneous things that I just didn't take out, I'll take out. But since, like I said, all the major stuff is out here, I want to move on to the rear section. So first thing I'm going to do is just drop this clip. It's 4 bolts holding in this clip, and other cables and miscellaneous things. So I got to pull all those out, and then I should just be able to move this whole rear clip and pull it out. So I'm going to get started on that now. So it's the next morning, and the rear clip's out of the go-kart. Pretty easy. I just had to disconnect some of the cables. I didn't have time to finish it all up last night because, as I did say, I had to do some stuff before this. So that's all taken care of. There's just some other miscellaneous things that are in there, like the handbrake and the brake caliper. And then this is the throttle cable as well. It broke the instant the go-kart moved, but it doesn't matter. I won't be using it anyway because it's made for that carburetor and that carburetor only. So it's not really needed. Like I said, this whole motor is going to get pulled out anyway, and something new will be in its place. But as far as this goes, in next video, what I'm likely going to do is take out all the miscellaneous things that are left, which is the gas pedal, the master cylinders, and all those switches, and then begin sanding down this entire go-kart, getting all this old, really faded paint that's on this go-kart, trying to get some of all that rust off, trying to just clean up this chassis as best as I can and prepare it to be painted. And as for this goes, I need to pull the motor out, and that's really it. That's all I got to do, because it's just the motor that's in here that I don't need. Everything else can stay: the battery box, the brake, the disc brake, the shocks, all that. This little electrical piece that can come out, the muffler, all that stuff comes out. But like every other miscellaneous thing other than the motor can stay in there. And as for that, that's going to get torn down completely. And this is probably going to get torn down completely as well, or if not, just taped off, so where I won't get paint on things I don't want paint on. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Instagram, the Phenomenal Garage. I want you guys to go check that out. I'm going to be posting some pretty cool updates there on the channel, and just other garage miscellaneous things I do outside of YouTube. Go check that out. It's called the Phenomenal Garage on Instagram. And as I said, next video, I'm going to be messing around with the rear clip and tearing down whatever's left of the main chassis and begin sanding it down and getting it ready to be actually painted. So, as I said, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.